Daniel Rodriguez versus Mike Perry, full fight breakdown and thoughts, and what is next as well. I mean, wow, Daniel Rodriguez put it on Mike Perry from start to finish. The boxing range was the difference. The southpaw Daniel Rodriguez was cracking Mike Perry with straight lefts. He had him hurt in that first round. It looked like he may actually get that first round finish, but Perry, being as tough as he is, survives, does land a takedown himself. He really needed to go towards more of that wrestling game. He was really struggling on the feet with Daniel Rodriguez. Totally was outstruck throughout the fight. Second round, piecing up Mike Perry some more. Third round really had Perry busted up. Looked like he might get a stoppage, but it does go the distance. Perry, very difficult to finish, sits in there, takes a beating. But man, Daniel Rodriguez put it on Mike Perry. His kickboxing is excellent. From range, was able to devastate Mike Perry with straight punches, landing beautiful straight left hands from the southpaw stance. Perry looked like he had no answer. In the clinch exchanges and on the ground, Perry looked pretty good, but he wasn't able to do much damage from there. I think Perry may need to shift his game towards a very wrestling-heavy attack, because right now, his striking doesn't look nearly what it once was. Since that Vicente Luque fight, he hasn't been the same fighter. He took a lot of damage in that fight. He took a lot of damage in his last fight against Tim Means. He took a lot of damage here. I don't know if Mike Perry will be in the UFC much longer, but I know he's a fan favorite guy, so I do think they keep him around. A tough pill to swallow for the loss. What's next for both men? Let's first talk about what's next for the winner, Daniel Rodriguez. I think everybody can agree him and Miguel Baeza would be an absolute slobber knocker and a hell of a striking match. I think Baeza versus Rodriguez should be next. I think that's a really fun striking match. You got to remember, Rodriguez recently did lose to Nicholas Dalby, so I think you got to hold him back a little bit as far as, giving him a very big fight. I think Rodriguez, Baeza next, and I think that's a striker dream matchup. Coming off a big win over Mike Perry, definitely I think he deserves that Miguel Baeza fight, and I feel like Baeza would be a good test for him. And I think both similar level, the winner would then emerge as a more highly rated contender, especially Miguel Baeza, who's undefeated inside of the UFC. Now for Platinum Mike Perry, what is next? Let's quickly pull up Mike Perry's record. I just want to talk about the losing that's been a continuous issue for him. You look, I mean, he won one fight in 2020, had some losses here. Right now, 1-4 in his last 5. Gave hell to Vicente Luque, and then he got knocked out in the first round by Neal. Squeaks past Mickey Gall, loses to Tim Means, loses to Daniel Rodriguez. You see how Vicente Luque has done since then. He looks like a man who lit a fire under his ass. He looks elite level. He looks awesome. He's beating very good fighters, and he's become one of the best in the world at welterweight. Mike Perry is not. He's going the opposite direction. As of right now, I feel like Mike Perry, his time may be ending sooner rather than later. He's a fun guy to watch, but he takes too much damage. What's next for him? You can give him the loser of Alex Oliveira and Randy Brown. I think that's possible. Or Lyman Good. I feel like him and Lyman Good have an entertaining striking fight. Both kickboxers, both coming off losses, both need to bounce back with some victories. I feel like that could also be the matchup. The Alex Oliveira fight, I don't think that happens. Actually, take that back, because they did fight recently. But if Randy Brown were to lose to Oliveira, maybe you do Randy Brown versus Mike Perry. I don't know, tricky matchup. Actually, now looking at it, prefer the Lyman Good fight. I think that's a fun matchup. Another guy in the mix possibly would be Dwight Grant. I think that could be an intriguing fight. I don't know. We'll see what happens with the UFC, what they want to do. But right now, Perry on a losing streak. It's not a good look at all. There's also Chaos Williams in the mix, but I don't think that's a good matchup for Perry. He is ranked behind him, but I think he'd give him hell. Mike Perry's ranked, at least by this site, Ranking MMA, fairly high for the losing streak that he's on. But we'll see what is next. He's now got a losing record in the UFC of 7-8. But Mike Perry definitely having a bit of a fallout, not looking so platinum anymore, looking a bit worn right now. Looks like a worn down fighter that's taking a lot of damage. He's only 29, but he's in so many wars, man. Takes a lot of shots. He's a striker, but I do believe getting to maybe a more grappling heavy game will be his benefit for the future of his career. He's only 29. He should have at least a few years left. But right now, man, eating too many strikes, and his nose was completely crushed versus Luque. He's never been really the same since that point. But we'll see what is next. As of right now, I'm nervous for Mike Perry. But I do think the UFC does keep him around at least for one more, because he is a fan favorite, and he's a lot of fun to watch. That is pretty much it for this video. Make sure you guys smash that like button, subscribe to the channel. Also, guys, follow my social media, Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok. And I will see you all in the next video.